Yes, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Big Johnny and National Housing Party. It's obviously Christmas. If you notice, I'm at the PTSD camp. We've got our mate Marcus on. Yes, Marcus.
Yeah, right, mate. It's good to be here.
And Pat McGinnis as well, co-founder and backbone of the party. How are you, Pat?
Very well. Merry Christmas to everyone.
And Stuart Boniface has joined us to start off with. How are you, Stuart?
Not so bad, mate. Not so bad. Just got over an abscess, which was a bit, not good. I had a big infection. It was very nice. Luckily, got rid of it in time for Christmas. So, Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yes. Right, we're going to start off. I want to just say something first. Steve Wilde, who's in the party, and I see Steve's videos and stuff on TikTok, and he talks about the Bible, talks about Christ. And you know what I like about Steve? He's dead mellow when he talks, and that's what I like. I don't like extreme people who like, you've got to do this, you've got to. That's what I don't get. But Steve is really mild, and it's a really fresh blessing to hear Steve talk about his experiences and stuff like that. So he can't make it tonight. He's busy with family commitments. So I asked him for a tune, and this is Steve's tune that he's given us to play tonight. Lovely, lovely. That was from Steve Wilde. Good evening, everyone in the chat. Mark Williams, Dave 101. A long-time follower, Dave 101. Thank you very much. And you've always been honourable in the chat. Good evening, Nick. I hope you're all right. Nick's been doing the reboot programme with us, and he's very supportive of everything I do. So I've been supporting Nick in various things. We had a meeting with the new Rochdale Member of Parliament, Paul Watmore, or whatever his name is. He'll put his name up. We had a meeting the other week with him, and in Nick's case, in this is one of the things that pushes me. In Nick's case, he's been ignored. The police have ignored him. Everyone's ignored him. They've discarded him after a serious attack on himself, and nobody listens to him. And so I've supported him by going to meetings. So we went seeing the Rochdale Member of Parliament the other week. And I'm not going to repeat what I said, but some of the things I said in it were very controversial, politically incorrect, as he said. But I told him, and I've got facts and truth behind everything I said. And this is the kind of thing I want to do in local politics, is support people with issues and stuff like that. I've got people within Oldham who I've been supporting with issues with the council and social services, housing and stuff like that. And we should all stand up to do this in our own communities. It's and it's part of community building. But anyway, let's get on with it. Merry Christmas, everyone. It's Christmas Eve. I'm at the camp over at Joe's house. Can hear music, so I think she's got Baby Doll. One of the girls, they're probably karaoke in and stuff like that. It's been half a busy day, pretty quiet. Tomorrow, we've got Christmas dinner being served by the local landlord. We did do a video, actually. I should get the video up. That's what I should do. With the local landlord. And he's cooking all our food and bringing it tomorrow and serving everyone, around 20 people on camp. We're looking by end of tonight to have about up to 10 veterans here over the next few days, and some visits of veterans coming up. And before I go back in the new year, we're going up to see the local council, it's a town centre manager of Frome. And while I'm there, I'm going to see the council and the electoral part of the town council in Frome to get Darren on the list, and hopefully we'll set him up for the next election in the area for the town council, and he'll be going under our banner. So good luck. It'd be great thing, great experience for him. Town councillor's not as big as obviously the main councillor. You sort of like do little villages, but in that we'll get advertisement. People will meet us. We obviously, I have talked about this, but we went to the Member of Parliament hustings in Frome the other month before the general election, and me and Darren made a big statement. I made a big statement for the NHPUK, and I made a big statement for veterans, and which is a positive thing all round. So good luck to us. But anyway, Pat, over to you. Carry on while I do some sharing.
Yeah, no, that sounds really interesting. Darren standing for the party, and I'll be coming down to the camp on Boxing Day for a visit. I haven't been down there. It'd be really nice to see all the work the PTSD camp is doing for the veterans, and John's input as well, as John is our leader, and you know, we want to support veterans full stop, unconditionally. That's one of our main things, and that's really good that we're able to help there. And so yeah, it's all looking good in London. Christmas is here. It's been quite a good build up this year for me, really, because usually I do struggle a little bit with it because I don't drink anymore. I don't take drugs. I'm not saying everyone takes drugs, but I don't take anything, and you know, and I find it a bit difficult with the big occasions because everyone's getting excited and everyone has a little drink and that, and I don't do that. So, but this year, it's kind of arrived quite orderly. I haven't been stressed out or anything. I managed to get all my presents. I haven't wrapped the presents yet. That's going to be done tonight. But I managed to get all the Christmas cards done in the block where I live, and done all the Christmas cards to the non-family people, and all the family ones will be done tomorrow. So it's really good. I've spoiled my nephew. I bought him a remote-controlled Apache attack helicopter from China, 400 quid. And it hasn't arrived yet, so I hope he likes that. So yeah, no, it's all looking good. I've got my tree up. I won't show my tree. John's got a picture of it. It's not the best tree in the world, but I've tried. You know, that's the main thing. I've taken part. That's the main thing. And
well, I didn't comment on it because I didn't want to be rude. And I'll tell you.
I did actually used to get a really big. When you get a small one, it's really difficult to get a good shaped one. You know what I'm saying? So, and here he is, the leader of the Bible study.
I've been waiting in the background.
Okay, good stuff. Yeah, so I've got my Christmas lights.
I've got a song for you, Pat.
Sorry?
I've got a song for you.
Okay, that song by Steve Wild's recommendation was excellent. I do love a bit of Christian music, and it's nice to see a new one because I play the same one over and over again. But yeah,
the National Housing Party was playing London Town, and Patrick McGinnis was hanging round. And the boys at the National Housing Party were playing London Town, and there was Patrick McGinnis hanging around.
Thanks, Paul. Yeah, that's my favourite song, actually. He used to live in Kentish Town, where I'm from, Sean McGowan. And I know the exact block he used to live in. And, yeah, very talented bloke. But, no, yeah, I mean, we'll do the recap of the past year on our New Year's Eve stream. But just to remind the viewers watching it, you know, we are a Christian party. We do believe strongly that we need to bring Christ back into our society because our society has gone off the air. I mean, I would just like to say a few prayers for that poor woman in New York who got burnt alive. You know, it's just disgusting. It's just unbelievable. That's the devil, that is. You know what I'm saying? And the devil's creeping into our society. There's, you know, Christianity creates strong families, and strong families want strong borders. As simple as that. And you know, we need We need to promote Christ, and we have a Bible study every Wednesday night. You can come and join us if you want to. Just contact us. And just like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and hand it over to you guys.
I was going to ask, has anyone got any information regarding the possible cancelling of elections that Labour possibly proposing? I've not seen any mainstream stuff about it, so I don't know why.
No, I haven't seen anything yet, but it has been said, it has properly been said by Labour people, and they should really let us know by the first month of the year, because we've got to prepare and we've got to do this, that and the other, so they should do. And, saying that, Stuart, I'm going to write in, I'm going to email the Electoral Commission. As a political party leader, I have all that right. And I should be mailing them, and every other political party, independent, should be mailing them, asking them what's going on. That's what they should be, because, the electoral system can't go like that. It really can't go like that. So what I said to candidates, independents, whoever you are, get bloody emailing the Electoral Commission and ask them what's going on. And that will put pressure on Keir Starmer to give a definite thing, Labour, on what's going on, honestly. So
there'll be a timeline. There'll be a deadline. They've got to let the public know what they're actually doing. But getting back to Christmas, it's Christmas time in the city. I mean, for me, Christmas is about music. There's so many great Christmas songs, I recommend that we all have a good sing-song tonight. Pat, you up for that?
I've got a couple of records. I've still got a record to play. I'm going to do about 3, but I've got one that we can all do a bit of singing along to.
Well, I've been working in the pub over Christmas. I work in a pub in Liverpool, and it's been rocking. The Christmas spirit's been building, and the party atmosphere was pretty lively. So, if Stuart, can you open a bottle of brandy for us now, please? Time to share it. Pat, I will have Pat's share. I don't normally drink, but seeing it's Christmas, I'll have Pat's share. Marcus, what have you got lined up for Christmas?
Well, to be quite honest, it's going to be a quiet Christmas. Obviously, we had the Christmas party with Reform UK a couple of weeks ago, so that was very exciting. But yeah, this Christmas is going to be a quiet one, if I'm going to be honest. Just have a couple of pints and everything, and watch some Christmas movies, and and eat a load of bad food, really. So nothing special. I just wanted to quickly touch on the local election thing, right? Am I right in thinking that Labour wants to bring devolution to England like they have for Scotland and Wales and everything? Because if that is the case, that is very worrying, isn't it? Because devolution has destroyed Scotland and Wales, and it's done nothing positive. And what I think what Keir Starmer is trying to do, rather, is try to get rid of a lot of positions they know other parties are going to win, to obviously, make sure they have a stronghold when it comes to controlling the local government scene. Would I be right in saying that's what they're trying to do, is make it so they would have more controls, and it would more and more places would be run by mayors, I believe, if that's the case. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know a lot about what they're trying to do, but that is very worrying that they're trying to do that over in England. I mean, I've always been for an English Parliament, but I don't want devolution, personally myself. And that's one problem I had with the English Democrats when I was a member of the English Democrats back in the day.
The dreaded Labour Party. That would knock the merry spirit out of any Christmas, wouldn't it? The Labour Party, like just a dark cloud overhanging this nation. But thankfully, we're still alive and kicking. And look what they've overcome in America, getting rid of the Democrats. We just got a bill to break this Labour government, you know. And I think the spirit's mounting up. John, have you got a song for us?
I have, yeah. Excellent question as well. Excellent for Marcus. That very, very good. You know what's going to happen, and like you said, in the past, it's destroyed like areas. You know, it's broken up things. So, but yeah, one sec. Carry on. Someone talk a little bit, and I will put some up.
I want to, Stuart. What have you got lined up for Christmas?
I'll be spending the day with my ex and the kids, 3 kids, and a mother-in-law or ex-mother-in-law. So yeah, just end up there mid-morning, have a little nibble, have a nosh in the afternoon, and then I'll get back home and probably fall asleep.
What's your favourite Christmas song?
I will be watching Die Hard. It's my favourite ever Christmas film.
What's your favourite Christmas song?
I don't really have a favourite Christmas song at all, to be honest with you. Especially since I found out who wrote Jingle Bells and why.
Ooh.
Humbug. You've got to have a bit of faith and a bit of... But anyway, I'm going to play a tune. And when we were younger, this was a big tune with us. And it's by Johnny Mathis, When a Child is Born. And you can't get...
Number 1 for weeks. It was number 1 for weeks.
Yeah.
Do you want me to start blubbing now? I'll get a box of tissues.
Thanks, Johnny.
That was lovely. That was lovely.
That takes me back a long way, John. That's about 40 years ago, that at least. And now I know where the Princess Diana hairstyle came from. She borrowed it off Johnny Mathis.
We used to we had the Johnny Mathis album, things like Boney M, ABBA, Carpenters. These were the things we listened to like Christmas time. And but like you said, when that record came out, it was a blockbusting record, went round the world. You know what I mean? And he didn't sing it. He sung it with like I was saying about Steve. He sung it with like really peace and stuff like that. It wasn't, you know, he didn't like say you've got to do this. He was just telling a story in a song, and it did. It went viral, that, didn't it?
Admittedly, it's the first time I've ever heard it. Never heard of it.
Oh,
I'm really showing my
generation.
age, ain't I?
Honestly, we need to sort him out, Paul. First time he's ever heard Johnny Mathis.
Give me a break.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
It was a good song. I enjoyed it.
All the bands you mentioned... Sorry. All the bands you mentioned were my mum and dad's favourites. Carpenters, ABBA, Boney M. Yeah, every Christmas I got all that. Well, every day. Some form of it. Oh, and Elvis.
I love that one, David Bowie and Bing Crosby. Bing Crosby, you know that one. And Bing Crosby died 3 weeks after he made that, you know. People don't realise that. He was about to die there, Bing Crosby. That was his farewell. And it's a beautiful song, that.
So,
yeah, I mean, Bing had one of the best voices ever.
What's Christmas time to me? Christmas time is getting together with family. For quite a few years, my mum would cook the meals and do all the Christmas dinner and stuff like that. We'd have the family coming up from London, Peterborough, all over the country, Bradford, everywhere. And then as she got a bit older and we didn't do no cooking, we went to have food out on Christmas Day. So tomorrow, my sister, my nephews are all going to an Italian. For a while, we went to a place called Westwood East. And then over the Christmas time, somebody would cook a Sunday dinner or something like that, you know. But that's what it's been for me for over my life. But this is the first Christmas without my mum, so
I love the spirit of Christmas. You know, just people being friendly to each other, wishing each other Merry Christmas. And, you know, we should have started this really broadcast by saying Merry Christmas to all the viewers.
And
you know,
not happy holidays.
None of that.
None of that.
Happy holidays.
And, you know, just people being friendly, goodwill to all men, the change in atmosphere. You know, just being in the pub, like, and listening to, you know, you talk about Johnny Mathis. They played Silent Night by Johnny Mathis, and everyone's singing along. And it's only at Christmas would you get this, you know. Pat, any Christmas memories from you?
Well, I was just about to say that in my younger years, used to see a lot of carol singers going around knocking on people's doors and stuff like that. I don't see that anymore. Do you see that in Liverpool, Paul?
Well, I spent my youth singing carols. We only knew the first verse. The real danger was when somebody waited for you to sing the second verse, and then you just had to hum along then. Well, I mean, I must have sang "Once in Royal David City" about 1,000 times because that was a real money spinner on the door, that one. And yeah, the kids used to go around singing Christmas carols, and you know it was great because people had to give you money. It was absolutely fantastic. But no, kids don't do that now, do they? That's just so remote now. In fact, a lot of the Christmas traditions are being lost. We've got to keep them going. I mean, a lot of them were based on the church and coming out of the church. I remember the churches used to go round in Liverpool, and they'd go gather around the lamppost, and they'd have a little impromptu carol concert, you know, in the street.
Yeah.
And it was great, you know, just creating the atmosphere. And the church services, the Sunday service, the Christmas morning service. All the Catholics went to midnight mass, and even the Church of England used to have midnight services. Yeah. And it was just people coming together, you know, because it's the music and the spirit and the coming of the light in the darkness. And it meant a lot. And the kids get involved. I mean, Christmas is really about children, isn't it? I mean, I've just had another grandchild last week, which is, praise God, a beautiful thing. And yes, you know, and kids, the joy of kids. I mean, I used to have a house full of kids. They've all grown up now, so they're all cantankerous adults now. But yeah, I've got grandkids, so you know, for them, it's magical, isn't it? But I mean, it's the one big festival, really, Christian festival, which everyone holds on to. And this is, I mean, the commercial aspect has made that possible because Easter now has become a little bit very downplayed. When I was a kid, Easter was a special time for solemnity. But now Christmas, I think, is the last surviving Christmas. But the thing is, can we share it together as a nation? Because obviously we have Muslims living amongst us who simply do not celebrate Christmas. And that's sad to see. But I remember this street where I live here. It used to be lit up at Christmas. Everyone would do the windows, and it was magical, especially for the kids. But now, I would say half the street are non-Christian now. So it's a totally different atmosphere. And this is what happens when you start to lose your culture. Stuart, how's Christmas down in your neck of the woods as a social event?
Well, to be honest with you, because of my illness, I don't get to go out too much. By the evenings, I find it a real struggle. So that's limited my social life, of course. So therefore, I don't really get to see what's going on in that way.
Do you watch TV a lot? Because I never watch television. What's TV like now at Christmas?
I don't really watch live TV. I watch a lot of videos. A lot of things. I mean, I'm very interested in vaccines and whether we should be giving them to kids or not. That's one thing. I'm very interested in American politics now and hoping that some of that right hand from Trump will rub off over here and start to change things and get rid of the woke. We've got to get rid of the woke.
Yeah.
All these companies that are still following DEI and ESG, there are a few big companies now in America that are starting to ditch it. Boeing being one because of the huge troubles they've had. So they've announced they are actually ditching it. Whether it'll get pushed to one side to another little office or whatever, who knows? But all the while businesses need to trade, they need capital. And if the way it works at the moment, or has been, is if you don't have DEI, ESG, all of that, you don't get the capital you want, or you don't get it at the rate you want. So hopefully things will be changing, big companies ditching DEI. Hopefully it will pass on to the rest of the world, I hope. Fingers crossed.
Marcus, what do you think of the Trump election? What impact do you think it will have next year?
So when it comes to the United States, I always do believe whatever happens in the United States will roll off over here, if you get what I mean. Also, I generally see what's happening in Europe as a whole as, sorry, let me rephrase that. Keep on tripping up on my words tonight. So what's happening in Europe is shaping UK politics, and also vice versa. I think it works both ways, basically, right? So yeah, I think more people are turning to Christianity because of that, and I think people are turning to not just populism, because people say populism. I don't class myself as a populist. I'm a nationalist, and I don't think we should be ashamed to use the word nationalist. Got a bit of backlash the other day at the Reform Conference because I call myself a nationalist, and I don't care. I'm a nationalist. At the end of the day, I'm not a populist and everything, But yeah, I think nationalism is the order of things. It's the natural order of things, and I think Christianity is heavily embedded in, obviously, nationalism itself, because it built Western society into what it is. So henceforth, nationalism would be a part of that, certainly. I just wanted to quickly touch on something that you just talked about, Paul. It's a bit different where I currently live at the moment. So I've obviously moved from a rural part of Norfolk back into Norwich, right? I don't really mind people knowing that I'm from Norwich. I don't. But when I lived just outside of a little town called Bungay, all the churches were attended. When I would go into the local churches, we used to have the little kids come from the little schools. They used to decorate the church for Christmas time. And there was a very big community feel when it came to Christmas, and also just being patriotic as a whole, right? But when you come back from like the rural parts of the countryside where people are probably upper middle class or upper class, and they've kind of kept their heritage, you notice there's no community. I don't hardly know any of my neighbours, believe it or not. I know neighbours who live downstairs because they attend my church, but that's about it. So there definitely has been a change from me going from a rural part of the countryside where everyone still kind of have their heritage, celebrate Christmas, everyone goes to church, the churches are well attended and everything, and you can see definitely a change from going from that kind of atmosphere where I've currently moved back to Norwich because I needed to. You can see a lot of difference between how community is and how they celebrate Christmas and so on and so forth. So that's my experience on that also, just to kind of add that in there.
Pat, you live in a little village in London called Holborn. How's life in your village this Christmas with Father Keir Starmer?
Well, the problem is where I live is the repercussions of the lockdowns. We've got a 4-day week now, and it's been, to be honest, the last couple of weeks been very dead around here. and I bumped into my old mate Starmer the other day. He wasn't too pleased to see me, and yeah, so yeah, but no, it's all good. It's all good. You know, I'm just very pleased that I'm still alive, and I put praise to Jesus Christ for directing me on the straight and narrow, and you know, glory to God. So, but going back to what Marcus said earlier about the English Parliament stuff, that's one of our, just for any viewers who are watching, is one of our policies is to get an English Parliament. And then after 4 years, we have a vote whether to go back to a centralised Westminster Parliament. So, yeah, we campaign for a bank holiday for St George's Day as well, because in Ireland it's bank holiday for St Patrick's Day, and in Scotland it's bank holiday for St Andrew's Day. And these are all saints, all Christian themed. You know, it does make me laugh when you get these pagans and stuff, and they say they don't believe in Christianity, and they've got a St George cross flag on their product, and that's a Christian cross. You know, our nations were Christians built these nations basically on these islands, and people need to remember that, because the further we move, the further we move away from Christ, the more chaotic and destructive society will become. I mean, look at that thing that happened in New York. I mean, that's just so barbaric. I mean, and it's not just
barbaric, it's the amount of people that stood by and didn't try to put the poor woman out. Police officers. The guy who set fire to her is videoed by somebody who's videoing behind somebody who's videoing, and the guy's like fanning her.
I know.
I mean, it's like, oh.
I know it's strong language, but I sometimes feel like society is becoming more demonic by the day. And I know that is very strong language to kind of use, and maybe I shouldn't use that type of language. But what can you kind of say when, you know, when you see things like that, people video recording instead of helping someone in that position? That is proof that our society is, well, society in the West and in America and even places like Australia, what are based on Western civilization, they are going down the pan very quickly, aren't they? You know, materialism and obviously
Christendom, all the countries that were built on Christianity that have been the best societies to live in, the most free societies to live in, I believe are under attack.
Of course, yeah.
The mass immigration is being done deliberately. Keir Starmer the other week come out and said it's a failed experiment. You know, what's he going to do about it then? Failed experiment. What's he going to do?
It's been going on since the Second World War, and it's accelerating now, and we can see it before our eyes. Everything's disappearing. But what amazes me about Christmas is that you switch the radio on. I listen to like classic FM. And it's just Christmas carol after Christmas carol. And the words of these songs are the words of hope, the words of life, the words of light. And they're uplifting words, you know. And it's so Christmas, because I think Christmas is really the hope of our nations, because at Christmas, we get a taste of tradition. We get a taste of the Christmas spirit, the Holy Spirit in a sense. We get a taste of Christianity again. It becomes mainstream for a week or two. And it's a wonderful thing to behold. And I think we should really value this, you know, really value that people still do celebrate Christmas. But obviously, this year we've got to go on the front foot and we've got to save our nations. But go on, John.
Yeah, we have. I agree with everything said. Interesting comments off Stuart as well. And Keir Starmer did say that. But National Housing Party, guys, let me just get our emails up. If you're watching us on social media, please go to our descriptions and like everything. Follow our channels. We want to build up our social media platforms. If you're interested in running a Twitter account or something linked to the NHPUK, get in contact with us. There's 2 emails. And I'm looking for some advice and a social media manager. That's what I want now, a social media manager. So if you're interested in something like that, you know me, and you've got some skills. Get in contact with me, and we'll see what we can
What's
do.
the salary, John?
Pardon?
The salary over 50? Is the salary over £50,000 a year?
There's none of that. It's gonna be it's gonna be voluntary and stuff like that. But you never know. In the future, it could be a paid position because these things are big, and you know, every company, organisation, they need people like this, especially in the world that we're in now. But I just want to build up a bit. I've been a bit off on my social media. I've not been monetized or anything, and I'm after changing that. So that's the kind of thing I want. So please get in contact with us. Let's just see comments. Good evening, Serena, Mark Williams, Dave 101, Gerald Fisher. Yes, mate. Please share, guys. Please share. So yeah, going into the new year, we don't know if elections are coming. We'll have to see about that. Going into the new year, what am I thinking about? My personal goals now for the next couple of years is to quit smoking, get a bit more healthier. I'm not getting any younger. I'm 57 now, so I need to look after my health, and that's my plans.
Can I just say that the party does have a Facebook page, and if people can go visit there, we try to put up some interesting, thoughtful stuff. Please comment, like, share, get the Facebook out there as well. As you just said, John, social media, WizKid would be great. I mean, I put up a few posts. I think Pat does, but it would be good to get that shared and out there.
You know what I'm thinking next year? All these leaders in the West, Macron, Scholz, obviously Biden's gone, Trudeau, Starmer will probably still be around, it might not be, but most of these leaders will have gone by next Christmas. So it's
Trudeau's on his way out. They're either going to kick him out round about now, or they're going to have an election. I think it's got to be by March. It might be either March or May. But yeah, he's definitely out. They did a vote of no confidence. So I haven't kept up the last few days as to what's happening there. But a couple of days ago, that's what was happening in Canada. The German government has just fallen apart, hasn't it?
Yeah, there's going to be an election in February. But there's also, I mean, the thing about Christmas, it's peace on earth, isn't it? The Prince of Peace has come.
It should be. Did you see the tragedy in Magdeburg?
Yeah, yeah, this is going to be incidents like this, which was a weird incident, that wasn't it? It was really tragic again. But hopefully the Ukraine war will come to an end, just being awful. And the Middle East, man alive, that's a hotbed, isn't it? I mean, Christ was born in Bethlehem. So it's Bethlehem, which is really the focus of Christmas. Bethlehem, the city of bread. There's a lovely, do you know that the Christmas carol, "Oh Little Town of Bethlehem"? Oh little town of Bethlehem. Well, there's a line in that: the hopes and fears of all the years are met in him tonight. And that's it. This is it. We've all got hopes for the future. We've all got fears. That's why John's going to give up smoking. And it's like, it's the met in him, the met in Jesus. Jesus is the light of the world. This is what Christmas is about. It's the light coming into the darkness. And we've got it's a question, what are your hopes going ahead? And what are your fears? Because the sort of hopes and fears of all the years are met in him tonight. John, what are your hopes in the year ahead? Are you thinking about them?
Well, obviously, I want to get a bit more healthy, but electioning,
What about
knocking
the
on
wider
doors,
frame, the wider frame.
knocking on doors and talking to people. That's my thing, and changing things from the ground upwards. You know, we can change MPs and stuff like that, but until we change the working class view, we're not going to go nowhere. And I'm going to focus on that so that people start voting differently, get more involved in politics and stuff like that. And you know, that's where I believe. But I do believe in wider change. The next general election, we're going to see big change across the country. A lot more independents, different MPs from different parties. I don't doubt that the Workers' Party, Reform, they're going to get MPs in the next general election. They are. And the statistics in this general election prove that there's going to be a bigger increase in independent MPs and councillors, which will be good. That adds to all the goodness of everything. I think Labour, I think this is a beginning and the end of the Labour Party. I really do. The only way they're going to get any credibility or come back is have a full rebrand. You know what I mean? And take all this woke thing out. People are going against it. They don't like it. And,
Old Labour.
Old Labour, yeah,
is what we need.
Old Labour, yeah.
I was brought up, Labour were the ones that were striving for the common man and woman. Simple as. But Tories were for the rich people. It's all twisted. They're all for the rich people now. I like some of what Farage says, but not all. And also, I think he's far too soft. Like Pat said, we've spoken before on immigration, where they will limit it and they'll take a certain amount of numbers. We've got to have a moratorium. 10 years, no new people, nothing.
Permanent.
Marcus, what's your hopes and fears for 2025? The younger generation.
I don't mean to be harsh and everything like that, but I hope Pat gets a new Christmas tree. I don't know where you got that from, Gaza or something like that, mate. But not entirely sure, mate. Not trying to be harsh and all that and stuff. But yeah, anyway, I'm only joking, Pat. I'm only joking. I thought I'd make you all laugh. Sorry, I've lost track of where I was. Now I've said that. My biggest hope going into the future is that we can return to our Christian heritage. There'd be more peace, less war, which obviously would be nice, but we need strong men in power, because that's the only time peace actually ever comes, is by men of action. And I think that's what all drives us here tonight, because we see something wrong with society. We see, the left in marching through our institutions, basically. And I just kind of hope that the UK would be in a better place next time round. Sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought after making the Christmas tree joke. But anyway, whoever want to take after.
Yeah. Let me jump in quickly. So going back to what we were talking about, the thing in the subway, the poor lady got burnt to death in the subway. He was an illegal immigrant who was deported by Trump previously and came back in. Now on Twitter, I always say our policy, after we've left the United Nations Refugee Convention, 2-year automatic prison sentence for illegal entry, and everyone says, oh no, that's a waste of money, that's a waste of... You need a deterrent to stop people attempting to do it. That guy may have been deported more times for all we know, and he just kept coming back, and now he's gone and set a poor young lady on fire on the subway. And in I think it's in Russia, that for illegal entry into Russia, it's 2 years hard labour. In Pakistan and India, you get a 10-year prison sentence. So no one's even going to bother attempting it. So it's really important that guy should not have been coming back to America. He shouldn't have been thinking, oh yeah, I can go and try and get back in there, which he did, and it was put up in a shelter and paid for by the American taxpayer. So but my hopes for the future is for one day we will have strong borders. One day we will stop giving out, UK passports to foreigners, because that has destroyed our country. It's destroyed our Christian faith as well. We got in Europe, we got that massacre the other day. That was the deliberate target of Christians. Also, recently in America, the trans shooter deliberately targeted the Christian school. So we are under attack. We are a target, and just like Jesus, we're going to be persecuted. But we're in a lot better position than what Jesus was. So we've got nothing to be frightened of. We're only got to dodge nasty words. We don't have to dodge bullets and bombs. So, get out there, join our Christian party. £22 a year, £11 a year if you're not working or you're an old age pensioner or veteran. And join the fight to bring back Christianity to this country and make Christmas great again.
Let me get in. So interesting stuff. And I mean, I'll be blunt with people. You can say whatever you want, but statistically, we never had crimes like this, people being torched up. I reported on Sarah Hussein in Bury, and she got the same kind of treatment. And the police at first were considering it not intentional. But now the Crown Prosecution Service are reinvestigating it, looking at like it was intentional, and it's on honour violence. And we never had this. We never had this before the 1950s. This kind of thing was a minute thing within our homogenous society in the 50s. But since immigration, we've increased to female genital mutilation. 100,000 girls and women have been appropriated by this. Honour violence, we can look across many cases in London, Banaz in Birmingham and stuff like that. And we've allowed all this to come in with immigration. No one's going to tell me any different. I can bring up facts and figures, accurate facts and figures about this kind of crime. And it's one of the things, failures of mass immigration and immigration in general. And I put it to anybody. If you want to challenge me on it, get in contact with me and email me. And I'll challenge you on all the things I've just said there. But yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say about the push for Sharia law in this country. And I found out something the other day, which I didn't know. Now, in this country, we allow marriage from one person to another person, yeah? Most instances, hopefully, it's a man and a woman. But we've got a local taxi driver who has 3 wives. So he was come here about 15 years ago. 2 years later, brought in 1 wife with 3 kids. He then waited another year, brought in, because they go through Pakistan. He picks them up from Pakistan, pays a bit of money to get them through, but he's now got 3 wives, all living in council houses, all paid for, all not working. And it just makes me wonder, one, how many times is this happening? 1, 2, 3, 4 wives, who knows? And in this country, is that actually legal? No, it's not.
2 words, mugged off.
Yeah.
The problem is they don't impose the law, do they? The law is against.
Yeah, you can't blame him, really, for taking advantage of a poor system.
Can I just tell everybody what our policy is? We've got a policy which will completely stop that. And the only people who would have the right to marry foreigners, to bring them in the country, you'd have to have 50% native British ancestry going back at least 70 years. And that would stop all the arranged marriages and exactly what Stuart is talking about there.
You know what? I think we should really enjoy Christmas while we've got it. because we're being Islamified so quickly in this country, we might not have it. I mean, Sharia law, we've just seen it, the Christmas tree in Damascus, which they put up each year, was set on fire.
Yeah,
In a
well,
lot of Muslim
it's
countries.
easier to show that than rather than the beheadings that are going on of the Christians and the Al-Weto Muslims or something? The
Alawites.
Assad and his missus were part of this small sect,
Alawites.
or Al-Weto or something like that, and Christians are being murdered. Yes, again, Christians. I never knew that 20% of Palestine, or should I say Gaza, was Christian.
It
It's
used
some
to
of the
be.
most ancient
It's not now.
mosques, synagogues, and churches have been demolished. Christian societies under attack in the Middle East as well. It's awful.
Northern
Sorry to bring
Nigeria as well.
everyone down.
Pray for all the Christians in Northern Nigeria.
But the Muslims have something called dawah, which is about dawah, about taking ground and turning a Christian society Islamic. Now, the amount of ground they've taken since 1997, when Tony Blair got elected, is astronomical. I mean, we know what the mayor of London is, of so many cities now. In so many cities, the English are becoming a minority. So our traditions now are more valuable than ever, because we've got to find a point where we actually come back now. We actually fight back, because if we don't start fighting back soon, and the only way we're ever going to fight back is if we go back to what we were, back to our traditions. Christianity made this country healthy. It creates strong families. It encourages people to have children. It encourages people to have respect for each other. There's wokeness in the church, we know that, and that's got to be taken out. Sadly, the Church of England may be lost. But
I do believe that it is lost. You cannot have transgender priests.
Yeah,
You
well,
should
the thing
not
is,
have
let me just
gay
say this,
marriage
Stuart.
in the church.
Let me say this. The Bible is not woke. The Bible is the rock on which we stand. It's the holy book. It's a guide for life. And it's in the Bible that we learn that our Saviour is going to come to a city in Bethlehem, and he's going to transform the world. Who was Jesus? He was a nobody. He was born in a stable amongst animals. He had no status. His family had no status. And yet his message changed the whole world, because he inspired people. And God uses ordinary people. He sends his spirit into ordinary people to stand up and proclaim the good news that there is a better way to live. There is a godly way to live. Now, there's only two routes in life. You're either going on the satanic route, the broad road. That's a lot of people on that road, or the narrow route, which is the road of Christ. Now, why is that? Why is the Jesus route called the narrow route? Because there's only one person leading that route, and that's Jesus. We're just following Jesus. So he comes into the world. It's not just a little child being born in a stable. It's the light entering into the darkness. And of course, Jesus eventually will go to the cross. He'll give us life for our sins. He is the perfect Savior, and we need salvation. People tend to think, oh, it's all in the past, it's all irrelevant now. We need salvation more than ever in our own lives, in our families, in our communities, and in our nation. And that's really what marks out this party. But a nationalist party, we care about our nation and the people of this nation and the traditions of this nation. But we also, we're a Christian party, because we believe that the Christian faith has the answer to today's problems. Pat.
Well, just Merry Christmas to everyone. And it looks like John's got a song lined up for our departure. And I'll hand it over to you, John.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you, everyone in the chat. This is a National Housing Party. My name's John Lawrence. You've heard us chatting tonight. And Merry Christmas to everyone. And even if you haven't got faith, try and get a bit of faith that you've got a family and a community. Try and get involved in your community. That's that. You don't have to be faithful to get involved in the community. You don't have to go praying 10 times a week or 5 times a day to go to the local church to help out with the old biddies afternoon tea thing. You don't have to be faithful. You don't have to be faithful, but you can do a good thing for your community. That's what you can do by doing that. And, you know, we talk about things like that. You've heard me talk about the hub of a community is a church. They have a room where you can have an old biddies tea afternoon. You can have the knitting centre, you know, and stuff like that. Get involved in your community, and I think we'll be a lot better. But anyway, to take us out tonight, I vow to thee. One of our songs, and it's the culture and the essence of who we are. But thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for the guests tonight and all that. Marcus, Stuart, the mighty Paul Rimmer, and the hardcore Pat McGinnis. But thank you, everyone. And if you're watching us, please subscribe to our channels, subscribe to our YouTube links. They're all there in the description. We're big on social media and on X and stuff like that. Follow us and keep up to date with us. But we are the National Housing Party. Good evening, Lodger. Good evening. But yeah, we are the National Housing Party, and we're going places. But anyway, let's get on with the tune. Thank you very much, everyone who's still in the chat. But this is the National Housing Party. Thank you to Marcus. Last chat, Marcus. What?
Yeah, thank you for having me on. It was good to meet Stuart and actually catch up with Paul and Pat, obviously, and yourself. And just to give a shout out to my channel, I do actually upload myself and everything. I do a YouTube channel myself. It's kind of got a little bit successful since the general election. So if you want to come over and subscribe to my channel and see the work that I'm doing, then I'd be very grateful. Me and John are going to be...
What's it? Right, hang on. Let me just get your channel up.
Yeah, thank you. Me and John are going to be working together in the new year. He's going to be on a podcast with me and Alan Shipman, and we're going to be interviewing Ben Habib, lots of other people. So it's going to be very interesting who we have on. Although I'm a member of Reform, I don't think Reform is above scrutiny, and there's certain things with Reform I don't particularly like. So we'll be discussing things about that also. We're going to have different groups, such as we've got a local councillor for the Social Democrat Party. Many people would have heard of them. They are kind of left wing, but I see them as an old Labour type party, if you want to call them that. So they're on the side of common sense. We hope at some point we will have. Is it the Workers' Party or Great Britain?
Workers' Party of Britain, yeah.
Yeah, Great Britain. Yes.
Is that Galloway?
Yes, I hope to get one of them on at some point. We're open to have discussions with lots of different people. Sorry, Stuart, did you want to say something?
I was just going to say, is yours YouTube Just Common Sense?
Yes, that's my channel.
Your channel.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Yeah, and I'm going to actually overtake John.
His comments.
Yeah, I'm gonna take. I'm gonna.
Yeah, whatever. You're not even there yet. Don't even go there.
Pushed up in the ratings.
I put Marcus's YouTube channel in, guys. So please subscribe to it. You're gonna see me on there.
I think America has. Sorry to jump in. I think America has really proved the value of podcasting. Definitely. Because when you sat down like maybe one-on-one, you know, Trump took advantage of that. You know, at the advice of one of his sons. He didn't know who the podcasters were, but they were really popular, and they swayed a lot of young people. It's a way of getting information through in a way that's much more relaxed. It's not like an interviewer that's bashing you or leading you this way or that. It's a conversation and a discussion of different things and different viewpoints and I think that really hits home with people. So I'll look forward to your podcast, mate.
You're always welcome to come on and everything. We will chat to anybody. That's the point of our podcast. We are a free speech podcast, so we will have people from left, right, centre, everything in between. So if you're interested in watching something like that, everyone, please come over to my channel.
Certainly some controversial characters.
But we're definitely gonna have loads and interesting discussions, but that makes it even more interesting for the viewers. So I look forward to that in the new year.
Marcus, do you do it at regular times, regular days?
Yes, we do. So we will be uploading a podcast twice a week. Well, I will be hosting one with John.lawwrence and my co-host also Alan, and that will be on a Saturday regularly, and then we host one on a Wednesday, and they're always at 6 o'clock.
So you can log in live.
I wouldn't give any times yet, but they are going to be regular, and we'll update it. We'll update it on the stream anywhere when we come to it, when we get time for it. But thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining the chat. It's been lovely. I've enjoyed listening to them 3 songs that I played, which I think were very appropriate for the evening. I think Paul's gone offline, but Paul Rimmer, are you there? No, he isn't. But anyway, listen, guys, I'm going to end the stream. Watch out for us. Follow us on all our descriptions and social media. I've just put Marcus's channel. It's Common Sense in the channel, in the chat there. So please subscribe, and we'll see you all in in the new year, New Year's Eve. We'll see
God bless you all. Right, see you next year.
Very much.